Hello guys, this is Godsent of Scent Farms and you're welcome to Scent Farms channel. And today's episode I want to talk briefly on some of the advantages and disadvantages you can get or you'll be faced if you have to remove your nesting box early. Let's say while the kids are 3 weeks of age. Some of the advantages you get and the disadvantages you get. So it's left for you to weigh the option and see what best suits your practice. Farming is a continuous process and the learning curve is never ending. You continue to learn and you gain more experience while you are in the farming process. So over the years, previous years, I've been a crusader of leaving your nesting box up to about 5 to 6 weeks of age so that they can also get enough protection from the wind and the sun. Probably during the day they can go in there and they can be in there and be sleeping and resting throughout the day while the mother is also outside the nesting box having enough time, enough kids free time to rest. And then so let's talk about the first advantage you get in removing your nesting box early. Now I have so many kids in the farm right here, and these guys, I can tell you for sure, they are very good at breaking out of their nesting box. No matter how many times you return them into the nesting box, it seems so easy for them each time they jump out of the nesting box. So what I decided to do, for some of them, I just decided to take out the nesting box. I just decided to take out the nesting box and let them be. For example, the ones behind here, yeah, you have some here. I have taken out the nesting box from these guys. They were very small when they started jumping out of the nesting box, so I just decided to let them be outside the nesting box without a nesting box. But one of the advantages you get if you have to take them out of the nesting box early is rapid growth, because the major reason why they are jumping out of the nesting box that early, so that they can be able to get access to their mother's breast milk anytime, any day they want. So that also helps to boost their growth, as they are going to be having breast milk nourishment at their disposal. So that is the advantages you get when you have to take out the nesting box early enough to remove that barrier of preventing them access to their mother's breast milk. Now I want to talk about the disadvantage you get. As whatsoever that has an advantage certainly must have a disadvantage. One of the disadvantages you face is that you're going to be stressing your dough. Yes, you are going to be stressing your dough. Now, for example, this dough now, I'm sure she has fed her kids. Now she's outside resting. She's going to be outside the nesting box resting, except there is a disturbance in the nesting box and she needs to see what's going on there. That is only when she will go in, or she wants to breastfeed them. So she has enough time to rest outside the nesting box. But once you take out the nesting box early, they really do not have that freedom, because the kids are going to always be bombarding her, wanting to suck, wanting to have access to the breast milk, and she's going to be restless. She's going to be running around trying to avoid them, and in that case she will be stressed up, apart from the fact that she will be drained. Yes, because they're going to suck from her a lot. They're going to be draining her a lot, especially if she's having a larger litter. Now, why I'm not concerned about mine now is because the maximum litter number I have here is I think it's 5. Yes, so 5 is a very good number. It's a good number for any doe to withstand the stress that is coming from 5 kids, because they have 8 nipples that can service 8 kids. So with 5 kids, I really don't think the stress will be much on them. That is why I decided to just take out some of the nesting box, and going forward I'm going to be taking out some of the nesting box as well. Now look at this doe. Now she's trying to avoid her kids. Now majority of the kids, about 4 of them, are outside now, and you just have 1 of them inside. So she has made her option. She has weighed her option to know that I can manage to be with 1 of the kids inside than being outside with these 4 Jack Sparrows. you see shortly, very soon, once they notice their mom is not on the ground, they're going to jump inside the nesting box. It's pretty amazing to watch. You see how easy it is for these small kids to jump into the nesting box. Very easy. They jump in and they jump out. So away from that, she is trying to avoid the stress of these 4 kids coming to disturb her to suck. So she's with 1 of the kids inside, and she's okay with that. But as soon as most of the kids are going to locate her inside the nesting box, now you see her, she will jump out. So jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out, that could actually stress your doe. Now the second disadvantage I want to point out is that in the process of your kids, in the process of your doe trying to avoid the kids, trying to caution them not to stress her out, she will be very restless. She'll be jumping here and there, jumping here and there. Even if the nesting box is not available, you see her running around, and in such a process you might have casualties, because as at this stage your kids are still very fragile. So you might have casualties. She might unintentionally or angrily thump on 1 of the kids, and you're gonna be getting casualties in that instance. So that is one of the disadvantages. That is the second disadvantage you can get. There's one common disadvantage that you can get also, and that is your kids might get their feet stuck in between these a ½ inch by ½ inch hole. It's pretty rare, but it happens. I have had to come out of my house late at night several times just to unhook the feet of a kid. You know, when they are stuck, they can be very, very loud when they are crying, so you know something is wrong. So I've actually had to come out a couple of times to remove the feet of kids from the net. And if you're not there early enough to service the situation, they might have broken or dislocated leg or joints. So that is the third disadvantage you might be facing. So you want to weigh your options, weigh the advantages, then you know what you want to work with, and then you can decide to practice it in your farm. Now, so far, I have weighed the option. I have got to understand that, well, my presence for a possible intervention of the kid's leg from being dislocated through, in terms of it being stuck in the net, is going to be always there. So before the needs arises, I'm already there to service the situation. So that is not an issue for me. But for some of us who are not residing close to the farm, I don't think you really want to practice this early nesting box removal, because by the time the feet are stuck, you might not be there to rescue the kids. And in certain situations like that, the doe might be confused in an attempt to try to save the kit, because the kit's cry is going to be disturbing her. So in an attempt to try to save the kit, she might do more damage to the kit, and that is when you are not there to remedy the situation. You want to practice it, experiment it, and see if it's okay for you to go ahead with such a practice. Then off you go. If this is your first time of branching this channel, and you pretty like what you just heard, the teachings you just heard, the eye opening you just heard, you want to take a step further and hit that subscribe button. Go on to hit the notification bell so that each time we drop an interesting video or an enlightening video, you'll be the first to know about it. So from me, God Sent of Scent Farms, I'll see you guys in the next video with more enlightening rabbit farming tips, quail farming tips, and lots more here at Scent Farms. Bye bye guys, grow your farm with Scent Farms. Cheers.